I did it. I finally did it. No more tumbling my way through the slums of Jantai Battle cosplayer. I learned how to play Mahjong. And it is 100% due to finally sitting down and playing Mahjong Soul. Mahjong Soul is a free-to-play online Mahjong game for mobile and browser. It has characters and in-game currencies and all manner of shit I've never once interacted with because my ass is here to fucking play Mahjong. I've been kind of publicly voicing my frustration with the game, not only on here thanks to the Age of Discovery with the Sega Saturn video, but elsewhere and among friends. I was clued into Mahjong Soul as a good tutorial for the game, and I think they are half right in saying that. Personally, I found Mahjong Soul is far and away the easiest way to learn Mahjong in practice, but the game does no stellar job in actually teaching you it. It's not like it has an in-depth tutorial benefiting the in-depth mechanics of the game. So before we can really talk about Mahjong Soul anymore, let's do a crash course with Professor, Substitute Teacher, Untrained Temp Worker Idolism J on Mahjong 101. Mahjong is a 4-player game where you race against the other 3 players to be the first to make a winning hand across multiple rounds of play. Much like, say, poker. There are many different winning hand conditions, such as how poker has straight, full house, or flush. These are called yaku, and they are the conditions you need to fill to have the 14 tiles in your hand equal victory. The most basic of these is called richi, but before we know what constitutes winning, we should know what we are even playing with to get there. Mahjong has 3 suits: dots, bamboo, and characters. There's various exact terminology, but you can be informal for ease of use. These range from 1 to 9 in each suit. Where Mahjong starts to get a little non-52 card-y are the honors. There are 4 winds, 1 for each cardinal direction, and then 3 dragons, a red, a green, and a white. In a deck, there are 4 of each tile, so 4 red dragons, 4 north winds, 4 7 bamboo, etc. Looping back to Richi. A Richi is a hand consisting of 4 pairings of 3, either sequences of ascending or descending suits, or a triplet of the same tile, and 1 pair of 2. However, when you are 1 tile away from getting a Richi in hand, you must declare it to the board and wager 1,000 of your points. From that point, you are locked into hunting for the last piece to make your winning hand. Sounds complicated, right? I regret to inform you that this is the easy part. See, the thing with Richi is that outside of declaring that you are going for it, it's quite free of restrictions. Get 4 sets of 3 and 1 set of 2. That's all it takes. Almost all other winning conditions, or yaku, are some more difficult variation on these 4 sets of 3 and 1 set of 2. There are oodles of yaku that honestly have insane conditions to them, like Shosangan, which is a hand containing 2 sets of 3 dragons and 1 set of 2 dragons. If I was playing a game and someone hit me with this, I would probably uninstall and or leave the room and or go outside and get fresh air.
いやバケモンおるんやけどトンシャーペイ全部暗冠してるし何見えてないしあれやばいでしかも親やからとんでもない点数なんぞあーちょ待ってそれ6倍役満
スイーソースーカンツスーニャンコ短期大数詞6倍役に
However, the other most widely applicable yaku are Tanyayo. Jesus Christ. Tanyayo, or all simples, a hand with no 1s, 9s, winds, or dragons. Yakuhai, a hand where you have a triplet of your seat wind, round wind, or dragons. And Pinfu, a hand of all sequences, and the final pair is not your seat wind, round wind, or dragons, plus the winning tile has to be the finishing part of one of your sequences. I'd also maybe give a shout out to Toi Toi, a hand of all sets as opposed to Pinful's all sequences, and Chitoitsu, an exception to standard hand structure because it's all just pairs of 2. I mentioned seat wind and round wind. Those are in reference to what round and seat location you are sitting. Whatever seat you are in relation to your dealer is your seat wind. So if I'm across from the dealer, who always sits east, I am seated west, and the west wind tiles are online for me to win with. After every hand played, the win position will move 1 over, making it so the next person will be east, thusly be the dealer, and thusly changing your personal seat wind. Mahjong is set up into rounds, specifically an east round and a south round. During each East or South round, those wins become online for everyone, regardless of seating position. So if you are in East round and at the East seat, you can only use East win to fulfill those Yaku, which sounds like a handicap, but you get a nice point bonus for it. A round ends when East position makes its way all the way across the board and back to the person it started with. However, if you win a hand while in East position, the wins will not move until someone else wins, making the game go longer for more hands. So is this just 4 people playing solitaire in front of each other hoping to win first? God no. When a player discards a tile, other players may steal it to finish a sequence, chi, finish a triplet, pon, or use it as the last piece to finish their hand and win, ron. However, the act of stealing dramatically changes how you play the game. Everyone starts off with what is called a closed hand, and when you steal a tile, you move to an open hand. The kicker is that some Yaku can only be done in a closed hand, so if you are building toward Richi, Pinfu, or Shitoitsu, you cannot steal any tiles off the board, whereas with Tanyayo, oh my fucking god. All simples, Yakuhai, and Toitoi, fucking steal to your heart's content, baby. You still win in this round. Finally, each type of winning hand has a different point total associated with it, but fuck off with explaining that because there's not enough smart weed in the world for me to deal with it. Just know that the more complicated shit gets you more points, and if you win a hand by stealing a tile, you win points from that player's point pool, as opposed to if you win a hand by drawing a tile, you win points by taking from all players' pools. Okay, now that you are screaming and crying and yelling for the information monster to stop attacking you with information, we can get back to how Mahjong Soul actually works, because it makes this so much easier to digest in play. If you are looking at one of your tiles, it will highlight just how many of the same tile have been discarded. If you call Richi, the game goes into autopilot, automatically discarding anything you draw that isn't the winning tile. If you are deciding between 2 tiles which to discard and you are only 1 tile away, the game will tell you how many potentially live tiles are still out there, which combinations will not have a Yaku associated with it, and if they leave to Furitin, which is another mechanic that's like a lose condition, let's call it. I didn't explain it because holy fuck, come on, do you see this game? When an opponent discards a tile, you get a huge, bright pop-up on if you want to steal it. All of this may seem minor, but it does so much of the legwork in keeping your mental stat clean and able to focus on actually making decisions instead of constantly trying to keep abreast of the board state. Because you know what? I've gotten to now play Mahjong in real life, and holy fucking lord above, it is hard to keep your mental stat clean and able to focus on actually making decisions instead of constantly trying to keep abreast of the board state. IRL Mahjong is really cool, and there's not only a physicality to the game that is enjoyable, but Mahjong Soul lacks some of the more physical exclusive aspects of the game, like angling your wall to the person on your right is a sign of courtesy and manners. All of this had me at the table fucking sweating. There were so many things going on, and I was playing with good players, so I was working overtime to keep up while not misplaying. Mahjong Soul may not have the hyper-detailed tutorial needed to get you on your feet with the game, but it does such a good job streamlining the experience of playing it. If you have any interest in learning Mahjong, well, good fucking luck, but I would highly recommend playing Mahjong Soul. It's free, easily available via mobile or browser, and does the best job possible in getting you understanding the flow of the game once you have your sea legs. It's been a long time since I've learned something so alien and complex like this, and I have a lot of thanks to give to Mahjong Soul for making the journey that much easier. Fuck the cat girl though.